Apparently you just did. Problem solved. This would be Tuesday, October 14th, and we're going to do all kinds of learny stuff. Information is up there. See, learny. You can read it if you're playing the home game. It's there. Oh, there's the regular one. Poems you're going to need to know for the regular class. Poems you're going to need to know for the advanced class. Make sure you get a chance to go back. You can pause the screen if I went too fast. Pause. And then you're good to go. Advanced, know those. Poem for today. Take your poem sheets, and you're going to put them off like to the side on the ground. You don't even need them out. We're just going to do this one all with the screen that's up there.
No, I'm not.
My goal with these poems we do together is to train you so that when you get to a poem on your own, like the ones that were up there, you'll be able to figure them out and understand them. This poem is great for that, because when we go through it, it's got all kinds of stuff that's going to confuse you, that we can sort of talk our way through, make your life a little bit better, and then the ending of it, especially when we get to the end, like, Mr. Bro, that can make no sense. Which is why if you still have it on your desk, I'm going to sit there and yell at you and take away your points, which is why we cleared them off from our desks, you horrible children trying to learn. This is school, it has no place for learning. Alright, so, you sass me. So as we get a chance to go through, we'll read each of the stanzas, break it down with the learnificating that's going to happen from there. Victor, what's a stanza?
It's like a paragraph in a poem.
And how do you know when a stanza ends?
There's a space.
Nice one. Tori! I'll have you read our first stanza, and then I'll read it and we'll figure out what's going on.
Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, when people on the pavement looked at him, he was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean-favored and imperially slim.
Big words, nice one. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean-favored and imperially slim. Step one, we have a character in our poem. Aubrey, who's our first character?
Richard Cory.
Nice one. Richard Cory. Some dude that's apparently just walking around. Jackson.
I thought you were going to say what's the second one.
I was going to get to just a moment. The next thing I was going to get to is the phrase, gentleman from soul to crown. What does that phrase mean? Is that you again?
Yeah.
What's that? Jackson?
Meaning like...
Wait, do you know where the soul is?
Yes, yeah,
not S-O-U-L. That's not my dark shriveled thing. But S-O-L-E, which is a different kind of soul.
Oh, on your feet.
Good job. And crown? Where's the crown? Your crown?
On top of your head.
Yeah, where you wear a crown. So what's it saying about him? He's a...
Gentleman from head to toe.
Nice. A gentleman from head to toe. So it's just saying that he's an overall pretty much a nice guy. Then it says clean-favored, not clean-flavored. That's creepy. But clean-favored, you little cannibals. It deals with his reputation. And what is that telling us about his reputation if it's saying he's clean-favored? Brady?
He has a good reputation.
Yeah. That he doesn't make poor choices, doesn't get in trouble and stuff like that. And so he has a solid reputation as being an all-around pretty nice guy. Imperially slim. Do you know what slim is?
Skinny.
Shoemaker. Skinny. Thin. Imperially means from richness or from lots of money, if you will. And what do you mean, that he's rich skinny? Yeah, that he's rich skinny. I don't know what that means.
Wait.
Well, the idea, this poem was set during the Great Depression. And during the Great Depression, a lot of people were thin, but not by choice. Why were people thin, but not by choice during the Great Depression? Sammy?
Because they didn't have enough.
Yeah, they had no money, so they had no food. He's thin, but like a healthy thin, where he just eats lots of caviar and does lots of exercise and stuff like that. So he's rich thin, not like I have no money, skin and bones, roar, coming at you kind of thin. So it's the good kind of thin, not the scary kind of thin, if you will. Stanza dos. Shoemaker, I think you were the fastest on that one.
And he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked. But still he fluttered pulses when he said, "Good morning," and he glittered when he walked.
Nicely done. And he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked. But still he fluttered pulses when he said good morning, and he glittered when he walked. Quietly arrayed. On that one, your arrayment are your clothing. A lot of you wore a raiment that twinned you up with someone. And some of you wore arrayments that made you stand out, if you will. It says he's quietly arrayed. Mr. Brovicast, does that mean he's a clown but not wearing the bells? No, it has nothing to do with bells. Rita?
Wait, does that mean like he wears like darker colored clothes?
I don't know, let's find out. asking you. Is that what you think it means?
Sure.
Now you look scared. It could be. Sammy?
I mean, like he dresses like everyone else.
I can see that. Dressed like everyone else. Tori?
He wears like plain clothes.
I can see that. The plain clothes. Is that where you're going with it, Victor? She stole yours. She's a horrible person. Minju!
He wears like softer colors instead of more standing out.
No standing yet. No multicolored tutus and stuff like that. Yeah. So the idea of wearing the bling and the big gold sunglasses and the fuzzy pimp hat, stuff like that, is not what he's going to do. He's going to try and be more subdued, blend into the background, stuff like that. He's always human when he talked, is how he deals with people. What does it mean if he's human when he deals with people? It means he's an alien? Sorry. Mac Ewan.
Does it mean? I'm sorry. It means he's like he's sympathetic, I guess. Like he doesn't, like he's not mean to people. He's always nice.
I can see that. Sympathetic, not mean. Tori.
He understands that people make mistakes.
I like people making mistakes. Clark.
He's calm.
Calm. I can see that too. Oftentimes, when you guys deal with teachers, you'll have teachers that treat you like you're a little kid and they don't give you respect and they talk down to you and they don't treat you like an equal. That would be not treating you human. They're treating you like you're beneath them. Treating you, speaking to you as a human, treating you as a human is where you sort of show them respect and treat them as an equal. So pretty much what you guys were saying. The idea of he's nice, he's friendly, that outgoing. He doesn't down talk to people, even though apparently we're going to find out like he's this super popular dude. He doesn't be like walking like, hey, listen, popular person, not so popular, gets to step in. He doesn't do that. He's like, hey, yo, what's up? He talks and is friendly and outgoing to everyone that he can be. Just that overall friendly person. That apparently flutters pulses. Well, first off, what's your pulse connected to? Your heart. Nice on the veins and then the heart thing. And then fluttering. What does fluttering mean? Like the little wingy things like it's good, except you can't. Your heart should not be flying around. If your heart's flying around, that is not going to be a good sign whatsoever. But hopefully those steps together can help you out. Mia?
He makes girls like him.
Nicely done. He makes the girls like him. The idea that when he says good morning to them, does the whole, you do like, Mr. Cory, wow. And the whole, the flappy hand, that's where the fluttering comes in. Flappy hand. And they do the flappy hand whenever he just goes by. Not trying to. I mean, he's not like, well, like, hey, you. Hey, you. It's just the generally, he's just like, hey, morning, ladies. Like, Mr. Cory. It's just the random giggling whenever they sort of talk to him, interact with him. There's my girls who pulses are fluttering when they see him. They seem excited. And then he glitters when he walks. Well, we already pointed out the fact that he's quietly arrayed, so he's not walking around with like big gold rings and like blingy teeth or anything like that. Nor, Mr. Brovicast, is he a vampire? No, solid guess. He does not live in Seattle, so he's not a vampire either, for those of you who are familiar through Twilight. But how is it he can glitter if he's not a vampire, nor is he wearing jewelry? Clark?
His kindness shines.
I can see that. He has shiny kindness. Mac Ewan?
Smile.
I can see that. The smile. Shoemaker?
Also his eyes.
How so?
No?
Yeah,
Because
like
his eyes are like really big.
Like Japanese animation. Like you blink and they're half of his head. I can see that. He's got giant, enormous, freaky eyes. Those are always adorable too. That'd be the same idea I'd be thinking. Maybe not so much giant eyeballs, but the idea that glittery, the orbit, the clean mouth feeling, covered in mud, ding, that comes from there. When was the poem said?
Great Depression.
Cleanliness didn't happen to a lot of people because cleanliness required money in order to afford things. A lot of times when you got dirty, you'd have to clean the dirt off with mud. You'd like take the mud, you try to wipe the dirt off. Like, Mr. Brovicast, it just made me more dirty. Like, yes, pretty much you just lived your life just dirty all the time. So apparently the idea of having someone walking around with like clean skin, and it's like they can smile, like their teeth are all nice and their shiny eyeballs and stuff like that, it made them stand out. There's that general glitteriness when you see them. Stanza 3, we get to find out even more. Eddie!
And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. everything to make us wish that we were in his place.
Nicely done. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace, and finally we thought that he was everything to make us wish that we were in his place. So we find out important stuff about him. Tendai, what do we find out about him?
That he was richer than a king.
How rich is that? On the scale of richness, would you put it like at the top or at the bottom?
To the top.
Yeah, I would say. I'm guessing that when he walks down the street and sneezes, like gold coins, like, it's like just fall out all around him, just piles of like Scrooge McDuck, just like diving into gold coins, just all over the place, just more money than he knows what to do with. And then we find out he's admirably schooled in every grace. Any guess as to what that one's going to mean? Cory?
He's like, he had a good education.
I can see that. That you have a good education. Clark?
He's polite and kind and knows his manners.
I can see manners play an important role. I think it's for the idea of all that. He's good at whatever he does. Whether it's different schooling, whether it's manners, whether it's knowing how to take out a lady, whether it's knowing which fork to use with the salad, which one's the main meal, which is the soup spoon, which is the other spoon. He knows all of it. He's just all around, well-rounded, all of that information. And we get to this last part. To make us wish that we were in his place, connect it back to Annabelle Lee. How would that connect back to our poem, Annabelle Lee? Because the whole, thinking and connecting and trying to make the connections and fun stuff like that. Brady.
Jealousy.
How so?
Because the angels were jealous between Annabelle Lee and the speaker, and the people that who right now are jealous with the guy.
Nicely done. And the fact that the same idea of the angels being jealous of the humans, all the people in town are jealous of him. Do you remember the word that they used in Annabelle Lee to talk about the jealousy? Victor?
Coveted.
The coveting. So all the people covet Richard Cory and all of the good stuff that he has. So they think that he's all that and a bag of chips, and they want his bag of chips. And then we get to our final stanza, which wraps it up. Tendai.
So on we worked and waited for the light and went without the meat and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head.
Nicely done. And that's, I saved that last line so you guys can't read ahead. And so that's how the poem ends. And so on we worked and waited for the light and went without the meat and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head.
What?
What's wrong here? What's going on? I don't understand. Give me a moment. It's going to make a lot more sense here as we go through it. Well, first off, baby steps. End of the poem. What happens at the end of the poem?
He dies.
Yeah. How does he die?
Bullet.
Yeah, he commits suicide. He shoots himself. And the line here where it says, and went without the meat and cursed the bread, is the idea that the people in town are going without the fancy stuff. But they do have stuff. And how do they feel about the stuff they have? Yeah. It's not like they have nothing. It's just the fact that what they have isn't as good as what he has. And so everyone is looking to him. One of the things I push with you guys quite a bit is always being able to pull references from the poems. Be able to go back and find the lines to use your support. To understand this poem and why I like it, it's because it connects to junior high. Not the last line, which I understand is the depressing part. But there's a theme to the poem which plays, once you figure out the theme, plays a very big role with junior high life, even though this was a poem written almost 100 years ago. My question is, to figure out why he did it, find me references in the poem to Richard Cory's family or friends.
He's lonely.
So, did you find a reference?
No.
No. Find me a reference to his happiness.
No.
He was like,
Find me a reference to him being good looking.
No.
All over the place.
Find me a reference to him having lots of stuff.
All over the place.
Find me a reference to people thinking that he's all that in a bag of chips.
And he was rich, yes, richer than a king.
Good job, Hannon. So, knowing what people thought about him, but not knowing anything about who he was, why would I connect the theme of this poem to the world of junior high? How does what happens there connect to what happens here? Kayla?
Well, because in junior high, when you're popular, you don't really have these true friends. There's just all these people who are like, oh, I want to be them. They're so cool and stuff, but they're not really like your true friends. And stuff.
They're friends with you because of your position?
What?
They're friends with you because of your position?
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're cool, I want to be cool too. But then, like, the guy, he doesn't have him like real friends, and so he'd be sad because if you don't have any true friends who are always there for you, then that's sad because then, like, you know, what if you're like stranded on the side of the street and there's no one there? You can't call a friend because you'll be like, I don't care about you.
That does sound sad.
Like,
The idea of the people judging someone without knowing anything about them. And so that's what you have. The same thing happens here at the junior high level. The idea that just because you see someone who comes, especially where we are, comes from a certain neighborhood, and you can easily quickly judge someone on the neighborhood they come from, just knowing they come from that. You already know everything you need. You don't know everything you need to know about someone. Even if they have all of the nicest clothes, or all of the newest stuff, all of the latest games, you don't know anything about that person on the inside. And so this is a bit of an extreme example, but it's that same idea of this person who has everything going for them. Everyone wants to be them. On the outside, they appear to be happy, but you don't know who they are on the inside. I do a lot of counseling with 8th graders that come in to talk to me and high schoolers that come back to talk to me. And a lot of what we end up talking about is that idea of those people who live the lives that no one knows what's going on behind the closed doors. The idea that their personal life is one that no one else seems to know about. And that happens a lot at the junior high level. The idea that everyone does a quick judgment of others without knowing what's going on behind closed doors. The idea of you don't know people's backgrounds. And I had a kid connect this earlier, or this poem, to a celebrity death we had recently, which shocked a lot of people, which went along those same ideas. That death being Robin Williams. And the fact that everyone was shocked because he was such outgoing, he seemed so happy, he was so funny, he had a TV show, he was rich, and yet, why would he commit suicide? Same idea. We don't know what was going on in his life. You don't know his personal life, you know all these things that happened. So it's that idea of sometimes you have to look a little bit deeper and can't do that quick judging. I like the poem because it's tough the first time you go through it. It's got lots of those big things to figure out. And then you finish and you get to that last line. You're like, what? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's like meaning behind it. It's got works on different layers. Poetry. Mia?
so he's like crazy in the mind?
No, just depressed, unhappy. I mean, if you consider being depressed and unhappy crazy in the mind,
I love the program.
yeah, he should go. He would definitely be set up perfectly for the
But
program.
he's probably over 18.
He might very well be
No,
over
he'd
18.
hide. He could hide it.
He's like,
There's no one.
Our poem.
he's like James.
One more that we're going to take a look at is Particle Man, which is one that deals with junior high life also, and deals with violence, but in a completely different way of junior high violence, if you will. We're going to break it up into 3 sections. I'm going to have you read 3 stanzas, and then 2 stanzas, and then 3 stanzas. This one's tough, but it's a metaphor. As we read it, realize the characters represent types of people here at school. You have to figure out the 3 characters, 4 characters, and the type of person that they're supposed to be. Sammy, I'll give you our first 3 stanzas. Right there. 1, 2, 3.
Particle Man, doing the thing the particle can. What's he like? It's not important, Particle Man. Is he a dot or is he a speck? When he's underwater, does he get wet or does the water get him instead? Nobody knows Particle Man. Triangle Man, Triangle Man, Triangle Man hates Particle Man. They have a fight, triangle wins, triangle wins.
Nicely done. Particle Man, doing the things a particle can. What's he like? It's not important. Particle Man. Is he a dot? Is he a speck? When he's underwater, does he get wet? Or does the water get him instead? Nobody knows. Particle Man. Triangle Man, Triangle Man. Triangle Man hates Particle Man. They have a fight. Triangle wins. Triangle Man. Have faith. Ride with me till the end. Our next 2, keep going from there. Minju.
Universe Man, size of the entire universe man, usually kind to smaller man, universe man. He's got a watch with a minute hand, millennium hand, and an eon hand. When they meet, it's a happy land, powerful man, universe man.
Did you write this poem?
Universe Man, size of the entire universe man, usually kind to smaller man, universe man. He's got a watch with a minute hand, millennium hand, and an eon hand. When they meet, it's a happy land, powerful man, universe man. Patella?
Okay. Person man,
hit on the head with the frying pan, lives his life in a garbage can, person man. Is he depressed or is he a mess? Does he feel totally worthless? Who came up with person man, degraded man, person man, triangle man, triangle man, triangle man hates person man, they have a fight, triangle wins, triangle man.
Nice, well done.
Yeah.
Person man, hit on the head of the frying pan, lives his life in a garbage can, person man. Is he depressed? Is he a mess? Does he feel totally worthless? Who came up with person man, degraded man, person man? Triangle man, triangle man, triangle man hates person man. They have a fight, triangle wins, triangle man. That's the whole poem. Now, I mentioned each character represents a type of metaphor. One of these characters represents the bully that beats up other kids at school. Triangle man. One of these characters represents the nerdy kid that is quiet and shy and doesn't think much about themselves, sort of hides in the background. Particle man, because particle is small, doesn't feel like they're much there. One of the characters represents the kid that has the bad home life, doesn't have much money, lives in a bad place.
Person man.
There you have person man. One of the characters represents the friendly, outgoing person who has lots of confidence. Triangle man only beats up which type of character?
The weird one.
Person and particle. What do person and particle have in common?
They're weird.
The fact that they feel weird, they're different, they're smaller, they have no confidence, if you will. Universe man is the idea that that confident person who doesn't get picked on. Easy poem, once you realize each person sort of represents one little metaphor. First time through, confusing. After that, I have faith. What do you have to bring tomorrow?
Test.
And what day is your test?
Friday.
Now.